A woman sat in my office not too long ago, looked at me and said, "Dr. Ivana, everyone keeps telling me I'm fine, but I don't feel fine." She wasn't imagining things, she wasn't being dramatic, and she certainly wasn't lazy. Her lab work was normal, her examination was reassuring. On paper, everything looked good. But as we talked, another story began to emerge. She was working full-time, helping care for an aging parent, managing a household, supporting her children, trying to be present in her marriage, and carrying the kind of invisible mental load that so many women bear every single day. That conversation stayed with me because it reflects something I've seen over and over throughout my career as a gynecologist. Women's health is rarely just about what we find on a test. It is also about the life a woman is living. Have you ever been told that your labs are normal, your ultrasound looks fine, your pap smear is reassuring, and yet you still don't feel like yourself? You're exhausted, your energy is gone, your motivation has disappeared. Maybe your sleep isn't what it used to be. Maybe your periods have changed. Maybe you simply have this feeling that something isn't right, and despite all of that, you've been told everything looks normal. So let me ask you a question. What if women's health is about more than what's showing up on a lab report? What if understanding a woman's health requires understanding her life? Welcome to Bloom with Dr. Ivana, where we explore the connection between the lives women lead and the bodies they live in. And I'm so excited you're here. For as long as I can remember, I wanted to be an OBGYN. There was never really a plan B. That calling led me through medical school, residency training, years in private practice, academic medicine, and ultimately into a style of practice centered on truly understanding women as whole people. I've had the privilege of caring for women from many different backgrounds, cultures, professions, and stages of life. I've worked with young women trying to understand their cycles, women struggling with infertility, women navigating pregnancy, women dealing with fibroids, endometriosis, PCOS, now called PMOS, chronic pelvic pain, women entering menopause, and women who simply knew that something wasn't right, even though they couldn't quite put it into words. Private practice taught me how health challenges show up in everyday life. Academic medicine taught me the importance of evidence, critical thinking, and training the next generation of physicians. But perhaps the most important lessons I've learned came from listening to women. Over the years, I started noticing something interesting. A woman would come into my office because of irregular periods, but the story wasn't really about her periods alone. It was also about caring for aging parents, managing a demanding career, raising children, supporting a spouse, serving her community, and somehow trying to hold everything together while making it look effortless. Another woman would come in because she was exhausted, and as we talked, it became clear that she hadn't truly rested in years, not weeks, not months, years. And then there were the women who 5 minutes into an appointment would suddenly start crying and say, "I don't know why I'm crying." And I would think to myself, actually, I think I know exactly why you're crying. Because sometimes those tears weren't only about hormones. Sometimes they're about caring too much for too long. What I came to understand is this: the symptoms bringing a woman into my office are only a part of the story. The medical condition is real, but the life surrounding it is real too. One of the reasons I love women's health so much, it is because it is so beautifully complex. Women's health is about anatomy, hormones, genetics, nutrition, sleep, stress. It is about relationships. It is about life transitions, about purpose, about identity. And often all of those things are interacting at the same time. Now, let me be very clear. I am not suggesting that every condition is caused by stress. That is not accurate. Fibroids are real. Endometriosis is real. PCOS, now called PMOS, is real. And menopause is real. Science matters. Medicine matters, diagnosis matters, but so does context. A woman's health rarely exists in isolation from her life, and often we fail to understand the context of her life. We may miss part of the picture. That realization changed the way I practice medicine. Today, I believe the best care happens when we care for the whole woman, not just her symptoms, her diagnosis, or her laboratory values, the whole woman, her experiences, her relationships, work, stress, sleep, responsibilities, and her emotional well-being. Because everything is connected. When sleep suffers, health suffers. When stress increases, health suffers. When emotional burdens accumulate, health is affected. When women spend years putting themselves last, eventually their bodies often demand attention. And the body has a remarkable way of asking for what the mind has been ignoring. And sometimes it asks very loudly. And that is why I created this channel, a place where we could have conversations that don't always fit into a typical office visit, where science and real life can sit at the same table, where women can gain knowledge, confidence, perspective, and hope, and can feel seen. Because let's be honest, many women spend much of their lives taking care of everyone else, their children, spouse, parents, friends, community, everybody. And somehow they're also expected to remember every birthday, every school event, every doctor's appointment, and even where someone's missing charger is located. Can someone explain to me how mothers became the official lost and found department for the entire household? That invisible mental load carries a cost, and it's worth talking about. On Bloom, we're going to discuss many of the topics women ask me about every day, which include perimenopause, menopause, hormones, fibroids, sexual health, weight and metabolism, preventive care, and other gynecological conditions. But we can also explore topics that don't always get enough attention, like emotional labor, boundaries, caregiving, chronic stress, relationships, confidence, identity, and of course, thriving through different seasons of life. We're going to ask questions like, why are so many women exhausted even when they seem to be doing everything right? And why do women often delay seeking care? What happens when a woman spends years taking care of everyone except herself? And perhaps the most important question, what does it truly mean for a woman to flourish? Before we wrap up, let me give you a preview of what's coming next. New episodes of Bloom with Dr. Ivana will be released every 2 weeks, where we tackle important questions about women's health, lives, and the realities what many women experience every day. So until next time, stay tuned for more episodes and continue to bloom.